Welcome to the Mind Spark, bringing you the latest news from around the world. Breaking news. China breaks ground on a $50 billion Mexican canal, sparking global tensions and trade hopes. Deep in southern Mexico, a new continental divide is being carved, not by nature, but by human ambition and geopolitical strategy. China has begun construction on the Tehuantepec Isthmus Canal, a project set to reshape global commerce. This is no ordinary infrastructure project. It's a $50 billion statement, wider and deeper than the Panama Canal, built for the world's largest ships. The world is watching as the first shovels turn Earth on a venture that could usher in prosperity or ignite new rivalries. For decades, a canal across Mexico's narrowest point was just a dream. Now it's a thundering reality. The Interoceanic Corridor is a joint venture, but China is the driving force, with its engineers and financiers working alongside Mexican counterparts. The plan includes 2 deep-water ports, a high-speed freight railway, and new industrial hubs, an entire logistics super corridor. For China, it's a critical belt and road link, projecting influence into America's backyard. For Mexico, it's a chance to transform its economic destiny and become a pivotal player in global trade. Shipping magnates are recalculating routes. Washington is debating the strategic implications. Environmental groups warn of devastation to one of Earth's most biodiverse regions. The Dragon's Cut is more than a canal. It's a new line on the world map, a story of power, ambition, and risk. Old alliances are challenged, new ones forged. The world's attention is fixed on this narrow strip of land, where history is being rewritten. On the ground in southern Mexico, construction is a symphony of modern engineering and controlled chaos. Thousands of workers, Mexican and Chinese, swarm the site, operating some of the world's largest earth-moving machines. Every day, tons of rock and soil are removed, shaping a new waterway between 2 oceans. The project runs around the clock, under the tropical sun and industrial floodlights. Convoys of trucks deliver steel, concrete, and high-tech components for the canal's massive locks and control systems. Temporary cities house the workforce, complete with dorms, cafeterias, and clinics. Mexico provides the land and labor, with President López Obrador touting the canal as a path to jobs and national pride. China brings financing and technical mastery, seeing the canal as a strategic alternative to the US-influenced Panama Canal. International media, diplomats, and military attachés watch closely, aware this project signals a shift in global power. The Isthmus, once a backwater, is now one of the world's most watched real estate. This is more than construction. It's the mobilization of an industrial army. The stakes are high, and the world is paying attention. The balance of power is shifting, one steel beam at a time. For over a century, the Panama Canal ruled transoceanic shipping in the Americas. Now, the Tehuantepec Canal is set to challenge that reign. Built for the world's largest ships, post-Panamax and Valemax, the Mexican Canal offers a shortcut previously unavailable to these giants. This size advantage is a game-changer, allowing massive vessels to bypass the long journey around South America or through the Suez. The canal's automated locks and parallel high-speed rail create a logistics corridor for rapid cargo transfer. Competition with Panama is expected to spark a price war, lowering transit fees and benefiting global shipping. Ports like Houston and New Orleans stand to gain, directly connected to a new fire hose of Asian trade. The global shipping map is being redrawn, with new routes between Asia, the US East Coast, and Europe. Both canals will be forced to innovate, driving efficiency and technology. The era of monopoly is over. A dynamic, competitive age in global logistics has begun. The world's supply chains are about to get faster, cheaper, and more resilient. The Tehuantepec Canal is changing the rules of the game. The future of trade is being written in southern Mexico. For Mexico, the Tehuantepec Canal is a monumental economic gamble. The government hopes this $50 billion investment will unlock the potential of its impoverished southern states. Construction promises hundreds of thousands of jobs, lifting communities long plagued by poverty and migration. The vision, a thriving economic ecosystem along the 188-mile corridor, with 10 industrial parks attracting global investment. Companies could assemble goods in Mexico and ship them quickly to the US and Europe, transforming the region into a manufacturing hub. For China, the canal is a vital belt and road link, diversifying trade routes and showcasing its engineering prowess. The project is as much about prestige and power as it is about commerce. Completing this mega project in America's backyard is a bold statement. The canal is a symbol of ambition for both nations. The Tehuantepec Canal's groundbreaking sent shockwaves worldwide, excitement for some, deep concern for others. Wall Street and shipping giants see opportunity: faster routes, lower costs, and new economies of scale. In Washington, the mood is uneasy. A Chinese-backed canal in America's backyard is a strategic challenge. Fears grow that China could leverage control for political or military advantage. Environmental groups and indigenous communities voice grave concerns about biodiversity loss, pollution, and displacement. The Mexican government must balance economic promise with environmental safeguards and U.S. security worries. The canal is now a focal point on the global chessboard, with every move watched by players with different stakes. Profit, power, and preservation are in tension. The world is holding its breath. Building the Tehuantepec Canal is a 21st-century engineering feat. Over 1 billion cubic meters of earth must be moved across swamps and mountains using cutting-edge technology. Autonomous rigs, AI-powered logistics, and precision blasting drive a data-driven operation. The canal's massive automated locks will lift ships over the isthmus, recycling water to minimize waste. 2 new deep-water ports, high-speed rail, highways, and power plants are being built from scratch. This is more than a canal. It's an entire economic corridor engineered into existence. The wild Mexican landscape is being transformed by technology and ambition. The scale is unprecedented. The canal slices through one of North America's most sensitive ecological corridors. Environmentalists warn of habitat loss, species disruption, and water contamination. Massive construction risks polluting rivers and splitting animal populations. In response, Mexico and China promise the greenest mega project ever: wildlife corridors, reforestation, and advanced pollution controls. Real-time environmental sensors will monitor air, water, and wildlife. Critics remain skeptical, arguing the project's scale makes damage inevitable. The green dilemma is the canal's most profound, unresolved question. Can progress and preservation truly coexist here? The Tehuantepec Canal's opening marks a new era in global trade and perhaps the start of a new wave of megaprojects. Its success or failure will inspire nations to rethink how they overcome geography. Competition with Panama is just the beginning. New routes and canals may soon follow. Climate change is opening Arctic passages, further diversifying global shipping. These projects will reshape alliances, economies, and the balance of power. Mexico is drawn closer to China, challenging U.S. influence in the Americas. The canal promises prosperity and connection, but risks environmental harm and geopolitical tension. Whether it becomes a bridge to a better future or a source of conflict remains to be seen. One thing is certain: the flow of goods, capital, and power will keep carving new paths across our planet. The world is being reshaped, one waterway at a time.